Hey guys, TJ here, and you are watching The Real Source. And my very first review on this channel is Bird Box, a movie that's playing on Netflix. It's a post-apocalyptic thriller. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start with the title, Bird Box. I looked up Bird Box because I couldn't quite figure out what the connection was between the title and the story. And a bird box is a box where wild birds nest.
Oh my God! Wow!
That's really it. That's the definition. I'm sure there's a deeper definition and a deeper sort of connection. I couldn't find it, haven't found it yet. The premise of Bird Box is that a mysterious unseen force attacks planet Earth, and as a result, people start committing mass suicides. We see a report on US news. The story is set in the US and it's of a bunch of mass suicides that have happened in Russia. People are going crazy. Sandra Bullock, who plays Mallory, she's in her house watching this news report. She's with her sister, played by Sarah Paulson, Jessica, and they're kind of having a normal everyday conversation about this, about that, about this, about that, what sisters do. And they see this report and they think, oh, shame, the Russians, it could never happen to us. But beware, it could happen to you. This mysterious force visits the US and the rest of the world, even us here in Africa. And literally from that point on, it's crazy. Whenever they see this force, whenever they look directly at this force, whatever it is, we never really get to know what it is, they are compelled to kill themselves. And so that's exactly what starts happening. You see car crashes everywhere. People are blowing themselves up. It's complete pandemonium. Now, when the movie starts, Mallory and Jessica are visiting a hospital because Mallory is due for a prenatal checkup. And so she goes in to see the doctor. While she's going in, there's a woman on the phone just kind of having a conversation. By the time that prenatal visit is done and Mallory has done her scan, the world has changed. That exact same woman is literally banging her bloodied head against a window and she is just going crazy. It's pretty disturbing to watch, but very, very effective. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how effective this movie is in a moment. But yeah, that's really what that kicks off the story. The story is about how people try to survive this force, try to figure it out, and the extent to which people will go, the main characters will go to survive whatever this thing is. They have to wear blindfolds because if they take their blindfolds off, or if they look directly at this force, they are likely to see it and they will be possessed by it. Speaking of possession, what is this? What is this force? I think this is the one thing that kind of irked me about the movie. It irritated me just a little bit because generally when you watch a movie, you know who your antagonist is. You kind of have an idea of their motivation, at least if they're well written. You know what their motivation is, how they got to be who they are, if they're an angry guy or they're a killer. You kind of know why they are the way they are. And in a sense, if the antagonist is written well, you sort of sympathize with them, empathize with them. I'm not sure which the right word is, but you sort of can relate to them in a way because they're not two-dimensional. Well, my issue, I think, with the antagonist or the antagonistic force in this movie is that we don't know, first of all, what it is. The news reporter at the beginning of the movie talks about this force as sort of, what is this thing? It's killing everybody. We don't know what it is. So, okay, we as the audience are also unsure what it is, which is fine at the beginning of the movie. A little later on, John Malkovich's character, Douglas, fantastic performance by John Malkovich, talks about how this could be biowarfare. He says it has all the signatures of biowarfare. Okay, cool, biowarfare. Again, that never really pans out or goes anywhere. We don't know if that's what it is. And then little Rel Howery's character, Charlie, who again, you remember him from Get Out. He was the comic relief, really funny guy in that movie. In this movie, he is sort of a little more edgy, nervous, panicky, and I enjoyed seeing him do that. It shows he has range. And he also has this hypothesis about what this force could be. He talks about mythology and a little bit of demonology. Oh, it is the end of the world. And you kind of get creeped out. So there are a number of different possible explanations about what this thing is, but we never really get to know, even when the movie ends. And I thought that was something of a weak point in the movie, because you want to know why the things that have been happening in the story have been happening. Or at least that's what I think. Coming to the positives, really great performances by Sandra Bullock, Trevante Rhodes, who was fantastic in Moonlight. He's a love interest. There's sort of a love interest thing between his character and Sandra Bullock's character, which is enjoyable. You sort of enjoy these moments of tenderness, these moments of humanity, and I think Sandra Bullock and Trevante do a great job of portraying that. Questions for me. Sandra Bullock has this, she has these two kids that she's looking after. I won't spoil that aspect of the story, and I don't think I need to get into it for the purpose of the review, but she's looking after someone else's child, somebody who's been taken by this force, and her own child. And she constantly refers to them as boy and girl. Only at the end does she give them names. I never quite understood that. I wasn't sure what the story purpose of that was. It sort of made her character seem a little weird, or a little weirder than she needed to be. Another question that I had was the significance of, and again, this probably is a spoiler, but when Mallory's character and the boy-girl survive in the end, because again, this is a spoiler, they are the only people that survive at the end, or at least the known people from our core group that survive. They are led to this hideout or this safe place, and all of the people there are blind. Again, I'm pretty sure there's some beautiful symbolic meaning behind that, but I'm just not sure what it is. I know that on the face of it, it's because they can't see. Remember, this force will get you if you can see. So the only people that are in this safe place, this hideout, are blind. I found that interesting, but I still didn't really get the depth of the symbolism there. So all in all, I don't have many complaints about the movie. I thought it was well done. Suzanne Bier directs. You can feel the touch of an expert director, somebody who cares about how the movie looks. It's shot well, it looks beautiful, it's edited well. The sound design I thought was also standout. I thought there was just the right balance between moments of silence, complete silence, and just creating tension, dramatic tension. And then there's also, the music, very minimalist at points and very sort of up there and at certain points. And I thought that really worked. I thought the sound design was solid. What normally happens sometimes in thrillers is you get pumped with like endless music, and it's just, it's hard to find a good thriller these days, and I think this one does it, despite all of the questions I had, despite even the fact that you have an unresolved or unexplained antagonist or baddie. I still think that it's a great movie to watch. Now, for me, what I term the real sources, just looking at some of the things that touch me at a human level, I think I want to talk about a few of them. Coming from a country where we were in a really great place in one moment, and then the very next moment things were not going so well. I really like that, how sobering it is to always remember that the things that happen to other people, the desperate times, difficult moments that happen to other people can happen to us. One of the things that fascinates me a lot about life is communities, how we build communities and how we include or exclude other people from those communities, and that is something that came through in a very interesting way. It happens a lot in post-apocalyptic themed content, fiction, about how people sort of bond together in communities. They learn to trust each other, and just when there is trust or some level of comfort, someone comes from the outside wanting to join in the community, and this happens in this movie as well. And what's quite interesting is there are implications every time we decide whether to let someone in or exclude someone from a community, there are implications, and there are very interesting implications to each time that someone is allowed into this core community of people in Bird Box. So I thought that was very interesting and something that I, really enjoyed just thinking about after watching the movie. So yeah, that's my review of Bird Box. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to this channel. I will be putting up more reviews as I watch more stuff and kind of just have the conversation about what's good out there and what's enjoyable, and just talk about this human aspect. I love the human, real life aspect of what fiction teaches us. But yeah, this was Bird Box review. First review here on The Real Source. Please stay tuned, subscribe, share the content with other people if you thought it was enjoyable. But until the next one, take care. Have a good one.